Hey guys, Rich here from Rich+Niche.com. Final video of the Miro series. One more thing I love to do with Miro, and I had to share it with you. How to create a very basic case study list of all the campaigns you've worked on, how to quickly and easily grab the data, store it, and kind of highlight what's important. As you work on 10, 15, 20 different Facebook ad campaigns, you're going to want to remember the highlights. Was it a great cost per click? Was it a great video view cost? Was it a great conversion rate? Was it something that you want to remember? Was it an amazing ROI? I want to know this stuff, and I want to be able to share it with people easily and quickly. Now, each person's Facebook campaign may or may not be private, right? I mean, if we share our Facebook campaigns, we're giving away certain data, but I'm not so sure how valuable that really is, other than the fact that you accomplished it. Can I really replicate your campaign without knowing how you created the media, how you targeted every little thing? Because we're not going to share what our targets were necessarily, much more likely what happened as a result of the campaign. So let me explain what I mean. Let's go into Miro. We've got a brand new board, and we're also going to go into the Facebook Business Manager, because what we want to do is we want to track the results of our Facebook campaign. So let's go over there, business.facebook.com. Okay, looks like I've been loaded into one of my clients. Let's see if this is going to work for us. Sure, why not? So here's a client who had a conversion campaign with 2 ads and didn't spend a lot, only a couple $100. But what's interesting about this campaign, I would say, is the number of purchases. There was quite a few purchases, and they came at quite a nice cost per purchase. So here we can see in the retargeting, it was only $3.16 per purchase. And in the conversions, it was hovering around $8 to $10 a purchase, which isn't bad. I believe the average cart was about $80. So not the greatest, but really not bad at all. So how would I want to potentially, build out a little case study in Miro? Well, first thing I would do is I would go to the ad creative, and I would just go onto the edit tab so I could see the ad. And this may or may not be usable. You can try maybe the desktop feed, the Instagram feed. You can get a sense if you're trying to get a screenshot here, right? This is what we're going to do. So this is okay. Let's just take a look at this ad here as well. Right, this was a video ad. Okay, so let's use the first one. It really doesn't matter what the ad is. The point isn't to teach Facebook ads or to say what is a good ad today. But to make our life even easier, I'm going to click this little button up here next to desktop newsfeed, and I'm going to go share a link. And this is really how you want to share your Facebook ads with your clients, is you go and get this link. And when people click the link, it's brought to this area. And basically you can preview the ad in a much more cleaner dashboard, but you can also click show ad. And if you click show ad, it will basically run the ad on your Facebook and Instagram account right at the top so you can test it. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to press print screen, which is going to activate my screen capture tool. And I'm going to go ahead and just capture this ad. I'm going to copy it to clipboard, and I'm going to come back over to my whiteboard, and I'm just going to start by copying my ad in, right? Because if this is going to be a case study, I want to have my ad here. Now, what's relevant is what is my key data. So I'm going to come back into my data now. I'm going to highlight, only this campaign. And, whether this column setup is right for you, maybe you actually want delivery, maybe you'd rather have engagement, whatever it is you think you're trying to show. I mean, look at these ads. They get impressive link clicks, even though they're not driven for links. Maybe that's what you want to show. In this case, I'm just going to use the default. And now one of the issues is we can't see that much of the information as we have to scroll here. So one thing we can do is we can close these that aren't that important. You can also go into columns and customize them and get rid of them. And that might be a good idea for the purpose of this case study. So why don't we go ahead and uncheck some of these boxes and we'll just try and keep the ones that we want the most. So that looks like it's going to be pretty good. Let's apply that. And I'm just going to tweak down this schedule. I'm going to tweak down the last significant edit, right? I just want to capture as much information as I can. It looks like I have all the information there. So all I would do now is, again, I would print screen, bringing up my screen capture tool, and I would bring, you know, some of this data over. I'd probably just capture this whole part right here, copy it. I'm going to copy that to clipboard. You couldn't see that. It came up on another window. Come back over to my case study, and I'm just going to put my data in there. I'm going to start saving my data so I can remember, okay, this ad led to this. What did I do in this ad that helped me achieve these results? And maybe you're going to want to add some text, right? Maybe you could add summary, this client XYZ, right? Something like that. You could have that. You could also go in here and say, you know, what is the most important number here? Well, it looks like it might be the fact that we had 10 purchases at $8, 8 purchases at $12. Let's call that the most interesting thing. Why don't you come to the left toolbar, grab a circle, and go ahead and just put a circle around those costs per purchases. Maybe that's what you want to highlight, add some thickness, and make it red. There you go, right? So now you can easily identify what it is you want to remember. Now, one more thing you might want to do is you might want to classify this client, right? This might be like local event client, or maybe just local event promotion. That sounds better. Let's make that a little bigger. Let's make that nice and clear, right? Why would I want to make that nice and clear? Because I want to easily identify that this is what I should be looking at should I have another local event promotion coming up, right? So if I have multiple of these, right, maybe I layer them on top of each other like this, I can quickly find out, okay, this was local promotion. This was like a consulting offer, right? This one was, you know, broad reach, whatever. Totally depends on what you're working on, right? Now, again, they won't be the same like I've just duplicated them, but at least you get the sense of, okay, I'm building out like my Facebook ad campaign case studies list, right? So this is something that you would build over time. Maybe you don't do it until you've had like some significant experience, but why not? If you're going to be in digital marketing, something you might absolutely want to do is be tracking this kind of information. Now, I would go in here and I would start like looking at ROI. If you could, I would calculate the sales, which you may not have in the Facebook data. You might need to get that information from the client. And I would go calculate the sales made. I would divide it into the budget spent, and I would come up with like, okay, that was a 3,000% ROI. I mean, 30 times ROI is not crazy for Facebook ads. I've seen it before. And so you'd want to post that over here. So someone could then decide, okay, do I want to know about the type of ad it was, or do I want to know why it had such an explosive ROI? Maybe it's not always about ROI, right? Maybe it's about lead gen. Maybe it's about engagement, right? So this is exactly how I design my Facebook ad campaign case studies. And this is how mine currently looks right now. So I have several case studies that I've been tracking, and I've done just exactly what I told you. We're not going to be going into this precious data in this video, but you know, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 massive campaigns, all with different layers of different complexities. And then over here I have my SEO campaigns, right? So I have my sites, I have some keyword data, I have the search proof, and I say, you know, what kind of operation it was. So now if I want to show my prospecting potential clients, hey, I already did this, and this is how the website looked. And there's the proof like that they're #1 and they were in tourism, right? So I haven't updated this for a couple months, but this was the last time. I think I built this whole thing out in under 2 hours. That basic process I just showed you of screenshotting the ad, screenshotting the results, adding the red circle, and then adding this, you should just be doing this like once every 2 quarters, once every year, maybe once every quarter, and just updating all your case studies, Facebook, SEO. That's what I do. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Gave out a lot there on what you should be doing with your case studies. You should then take these case studies and turn them into an article on your professional website. you should draw them out. But this is more of trying to keep them organized, trying to remember what you did, trying to impress clients with the vast amount. Whereas specific case studies, a client may want to read more in depth about what actually took place. What were the original goals? What were some of the nuances? That's a different thing, but I still think there's value in using Miro to track your digital marketing case studies. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this Miro series. Best of luck as digital marketers. See you next time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And may the algorithms be ever in your favor.